菊子说房产的观众朋友们，大家好！这一期我们是嘉宾访谈，我们请到的嘉宾是 Chris。Chris 在加州，他是做什么的呢？他主要是做这个挑高层加建，就如果你的房子是有那个挑高的2层这种挑高层，它可以加建，能够帮助你房子增值啊，主要是靠增加你的居住面积。那 Chris 欢迎你。
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly, very much for having me. So my name is Chris Deering. I'm representing True Loft, and this is one of our products by True Plans Inc. We do floor plans and building residential plans. So I've been doing this about 21 years now, and our main goal in California right now is we turn high ceilings into new rooms. The two-story homes that you see with the big open ceilings, many homes have that. So that's what I do. I specialize in the plans and the estimation, and I have several corporations that are partnered with me. And what we do is they do the construction, I do the plans, and we do it in a relatively fast period of time. So True Loft is focused on flipping your own home. You can flip to stay, or you can flip to go to sell. So that's my story. Thank you,
嗯
Kelly.
哼。然后 Chris 他准备了一个 presentation，就是介绍他整个就怎么做，然后大概投入啊，有一些那个收益，他做了一个那个 presentation 给我们。Yeah, we can say that.
Okay, very good. So, of course, that's our name, True Loft, and we're the high ceiling conversion experts. That means we've been doing it for a while. We've done thousands, and I'm just going to go ahead and go through this. We've for the most part, we've been turning high ceilings into new rooms very quickly, mainly for people who want to have more space in their home. But lately, since we have worked with people that flip homes, we decided to come up with a program to educate homeowners, real estate agents, and all the like that are involved in residential projects, that you can actually turn that high ceiling into a new room very quickly. And to real estate agents, we tell them this is like a vacant lot above your head. And what I mean by quickly, I'll go through this. I'll share with you that there are the two ways that you can basically do this project. One is convert it and then sell it, because you're adding 200, 300, 400 square feet very quickly. And also you can convert it to stay. Many people find that if they can't afford the home they're in, that if they just added to it, they could stay. So there's two options: convert to sell, convert to stay. And the selling aspect is very attractive, because as an example, if we were to turn 300 square feet open ceiling into a new bedroom, for example, it's going to be less than 100,000. And in many cases, it will be even less than 90 or 80. It just depends on how many windows we have to move and so forth. But if the house value is $900 a square foot, for example, you're adding $360,000 to the value of the home very quickly. And so that's the convert to sell option. The convert to stay, obviously, if you're adding 300 square feet and you needed an extra bedroom, you obviously have more space for yourself without having to sell your home and buy another. Okay, so that's pretty much what a lot of people have been asking us to do. They want to stay in their home. The best case timelines around the state of California, we cover the whole state. The cities that are aware of what we're doing, they see our plans on a regular basis. They're usually about 4 weeks to send it to the plan check and get a permit. Of course, we need 4 weeks before that to draw your house, do the 3Ds, the architectural drawings, and the structural plans. And then once we have a permit, it only takes 2, 3, sometimes 4 weeks. Average time is 3 weeks, but if that's construction time. The industry average for most general contractors is very common to hear 8 to 12 weeks, 8 to 10, but I've heard 8 to 12 weeks is normal. That's not normal for what we do, because we're a specialty company to flip the house or to get the space very quickly. So we average 3 weeks. And sometimes if there's a bathroom or a bedroom, I'm sorry, a bathroom or fire sprinklers or any kind of extra plumbing, and we're moving the windows up, then maybe it's going to take 5 weeks. And so your total timeline is 11 weeks, with maybe a couple weeks for adding a bathroom. And that's what I would call normal timeline. Some of the longer timelines, the building time and the planning time doesn't change too much. It's pretty much if the city of Belmont or the city of Dublin or the city of Chula Vista has a new plan checker and they're not aware of this, they might take longer to give us the approved plans. So these plans that we have are basically very simple construction plans. And in this case, it might take 20 weeks. And so that's an example of a longer timeline that we would have to consider if we're dealing with a city that hasn't seen a lot of these type of additions. Okay, this is some examples. Here's a home, looking at it from the dining room, looking back towards the front door. This is a before shot. We're not only going to fill in the high ceiling, but we're also going to change the railing. We're going to upgrade it. So when you look at the after shot, you can see that, oh, we took away the chandelier, we put some recessed lights in, and we changed the railing as well. And you can also see around the railing on the top, that's going to a new bedroom. There's a loft addition and a bedroom up there. So just going back one, you can see before, and you can see after. So that was a vaulted ceiling. So we can do it in a flat ceiling or vaulted. In the next example, this one's looking at about 340 square feet in a home with really high ceilings, but we have to move the windows up. So that's going to take a little bit longer, so maybe 3.5 weeks. But this one took, as I recall, this one was actually about 3 weeks too, even though we had to move all those windows up. But look at the after picture from the upstairs. This is from the same corner looking towards the front door, except for we're upstairs. We've got a big open loft, and we have a nice, we have a really nice office over the front door. So before, that's downstairs, and from the same corner, that's the after. So lots of square feet, 340 square feet added in about 3 weeks. And this is from the upstairs, looking at the top of the stairs, before, after. So before and after. So lots of space added, and this was a good hangout room for the children, and as well as a office with a door over the front door. Here's one where we have a vaulted ceiling, and we're not upgrading the railing. The railing was already there. Once we go and we add the ceiling, this is a 9-foot ceiling. And if you noticed, we also changed the front door to be a little bit more modernized. So we do things down below too. And if some people ask, is the ceiling going to feel low? Well, this is a normal 9-foot ceiling, but in many cases, if the homeowner feels it's too, they've lost too much height, we can also open up the downstairs walls too. That's called open concept. And we can do it at the same time. And this is the same house upstairs. This is a before shot, high ceiling, vaulted. But I will say on this one, we decided to put a little bit of we raised the roof on this one. So if the roof isn't high enough, we can pop it up and create a dormer. When you see the after shot, you pretty much just see a wall. And that wall is a bedroom. And behind that bedroom is a bathroom, a walk-in closet, and a dormer. A dormer is a pop-up, and we raise the roof for a small section so we can get to the window. And so there's another example. We have a high ceiling. It's kind of a smaller room, maybe 220 square feet. From the downstairs, it looks very normal. We have a 9-foot ceiling. And of course, we kept the stairwell open, very high. So that's my short presentation for today, Kelly. Just introducing everybody to the idea that the high ceiling overhead is like a little vacant lot. And we're the experts at filling that in very quickly. So thank you. Did you have some questions?
Okay, really good information. So now 第
Mhm.
第一个问题啊，就说那个业主怎么决定他适不适合做呢？
Yeah, well, the first thing to do is we can do a Zoom call no matter where you're at. And I have so much experience, I can look at the Zoom, and if they show me what I just showed you, you know, from the back of the room looking up and down, I can measure with my eyes. Yes, I can do that. I can pretty much tell how high the ceiling is. And if it's really on the borderline, then I'll ask somebody to go and measure the ceiling. But generally speaking, I've been able to do the home evaluation online and give a very accurate quote for doing this type of project.
Mm-hmm. So usually after the first floor is 9 feet. So how about the second floor? Second floor 8 feet.
Yeah, good question.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, so the older homes are 8 foot downstairs and maybe 8 foot upstairs. So that's 16. But we
Mm-hmm.
also have to think about 1 foot for the floor system. So ideally, at least 17 feet. We can do it with 16 and make it legal, but the upstairs would only be 7 feet high. But if that's a
Mm-hmm.
closet or if it's a laundry room, that will be okay. So generally speaking, you need at least 16, 17 feet. But most of the homes that I showed you, those examples are like 19, 20 feet high because we have a 9 foot downstairs, 1 foot, and then maybe 9 feet upstairs or 10 feet downstairs. So anywhere from 19, 20 feet, those are really ideal.
Mm. So if sometime you need up regulate the window, sometime maybe you need to open the attic. So for this kind of the renovation, what's the most expensive part?
Oh, the most expensive part would be
Mm-hmm.
the roof then, because lifting up the roof is something extra that we do when the ceiling just is too low. And, you know, that adds about 2 weeks to the project. And, depending upon where we're doing it and whether it's a shingled roof or a tiled roof is going to vary in price. So we're able to give that price of doing these type of rooms online very quickly.
Mm-hmm. So I'm in Georgia, Atlanta. Our house is cheaper, like $200 per square feet. So in your area, so if you do this per square feet is how much per square feet the cost?
Oh, that's a very good question. And it's not something that we can actually do by per square foot. Because,
Okay.
for example, the workers that are here in California, they work in California. And
Mm,
so when we're going to open up Dallas, Texas, for example, or let's say we come to your area, we have to train a crew and pay them according to the local economy. So we're not going to be flying our hotshot team to your
mm-hmm.
place and build it because they wouldn't get paid as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they have
So
to, yeah.
so
So we
in your
would.
area,
It's not by square foot. It is by house and where it's
mm-hmm.
located. So we would have to come up with a very special team to do, for example, to expand into Georgia.
Okay. But usually, what kind of like a per square feet? What kind of house worth to do this? Because I think we need to do on like a 800 per square feet, 1500 per square feet, more expensive, more valuable. This kind of the change.
Yes, the more expensive the home, the
Uh-huh.
more the smarter this type of addition is.
Mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, maybe we can pause.
Mm,
Did I go through I went through the, okay, so the different square footage, I would say right now, every house in California that we've run into, whether it's in Riverside County, San Diego, Central California, or Northern California, where the price of square foot varies from $375 a square foot to $1,200 a square foot. Uh,
mm.
all of the homes in California, when we're done building it, it's worth more than it costs to build. So some of the projects, some areas, it might be a $50,000, $60,000 addition. And in other areas, because there's windows moving and maybe it's a bigger house, and the fact that we have to travel there. Okay, we don't have teams everywhere. We have a couple specialty teams that will travel a couple hours, stay there, do the job, get it done in 2 to 3 weeks, and then go back home. So that's our mode of operation. That's how we can do this across the whole state. So as long as it's a 2-story home, and as long as we're filling in at least 100 square feet, it's going to be feasible for the homeowner.
So how many houses have you done by now?
With my team and I, we're over 3,000.
3,000,
Yeah,
3,000 house.
yeah. And we've been doing this 21 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
any
So
trouble, any challenge, any risk? Some you didn't do the work good.
well, I can't say that. I can say that because I work with such great guys, we have had trouble. Recently, the city of Belmont gave us a permit, and we pulled the permit, and we're going to go build it. And then they came and said, "Oh, we made a mistake. You're in a corridor that you cannot do anything." And so we had a Zoom call with the director, and they still said, "You cannot do anything. We're sorry." And homeowner already paid for the plans and everything, even paid the plan check fee, which was in Belmont was a little bit pricey, but we talked to them. We explained the code because our type of addition is an addition, but we're not adding on to the outside. So we weren't interfering with their planning department restrictions. So we told them this is an inside addition. We're filling it in inside the house. You're gaining square footage, but we're not changing the footprint. So when they finally realized that, then they said, "Oh, okay, we misunderstood." So sometimes the city, like Belmont or some of the other cities that don't see a lot of this type of, because it's usually tract homes that are 2-story. And when they don't see that many come through the planning department, when you say addition, they think sandbags. That they have to put we're working in the mud. We're not working in the mud. We're working inside the house.
So should be no risk, but
It's very little risk because there's hidden conditions in construction, but in a high ceiling, you can see everything. There's nothing there. The only thing that might be a question is when we're connecting to a wall, if the connection or the footing is maybe not sufficient for the existing house. And we have run into cases where the existing house didn't have a footing where it was supposed to have a footing. So we alerted the homeowner and told them, "Look, that footing is supposed to be there to hold your house up, and it's not there." So occasionally, 1 out of every 500 homes, we'll run into something really odd, and we have to address it. But this is not, we have to do our research up front. We have to make sure that we can add the square footage to the home and then it meets the floor area ratio and that it's within the guidelines of the building department.
So is there any situation, because I do renovated the old house, really old. So when we add the electrical line, and then need to replace the whole house, the electrical line.
Well, we haven't had to do that yet. We've done so many homes. We do have to upgrade the rooms we're working in. So yes, and we always run a new circuit back to the electrical panel. So that's part of the building code here in California. So the rest of the house is what we call grandfathered in. But certainly if we see anything odd or that's dangerous, we'll alert the homeowner and let them know so that they can address it and we can fix it.
So if do this kind of the change, the larger the cost, the average per square feet is cheaper, right? If we add 300 or we add 100, the cost is similar, close.
I think so. Yeah. In generally speaking, I'm not used to doing, even though I've been doing the estimates for these last 2 decades, I don't do it by square foot. I always look at how many windows are changing, how much square footage, lumber do we need? That doesn't change the cost too much. But are we doing a bedroom versus just an open room? If we're not adding a lot of walls and closets and doors, or multiple rooms, then the cost stays down pretty low, especially if we're not doing special railing. Certainly, it's easy to get a project over $100,000 if you're adding a bathroom, a bedroom, new railing, changing all the windows outside. It really does depend on the features of the house.
But usually, like 80,000 is the minimum to do this.
I don't want to say that. I can say that we've been doing homes for, decades ago, the average price was 30,000 for a room addition upstairs. Nowadays, I think the minimum somewhere around 45, 50. In some areas, it would be 60,000 would be the minimum without having to do too much. And so that's certainly happening now in 2024. When COVID hit, we had some extreme cases of waiting a long time for the permit and the materials, and the price was a lot higher. So minimum is probably somewhere around 50 to 60,000.
50 to 60. The higher might be higher. The higher might be higher.
So with the bathroom, these days you're probably running around anywhere from 100 to 120, 130,000. It just depends on whether we're doing prefabricated showers or tile showers. You could add railing, which jumps the costs up pretty high, and coffered ceilings underneath, those nice decorative tray ceilings. So everything is really based on the features that we're adding.
But I think if to a house like a 1 million, 2 million house, expensive house, so the cost is okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we haven't really run in. The reason people don't do this is, number one, they don't need it, or they don't want it. If it's an empty nest house where the kids are gone, why expand it? Well, I say expand it and sell it if that's a smart thing to do. But that's the number one reason people is they don't need it. Number two, if they do need it, it's because kids are in the house and they need an extra bedroom and they don't want to sell. You don't want to sell it. They like the school district they're in and so forth. So what those people will do is they'll ask us to build it because they need it. And the reason somebody would say no in that case is just financial. They maybe don't have enough equity or don't have enough cash left over to advance another room. So those are kind of the reasons why people, and also sometimes the husband and the wife are disagree that one likes the high ceiling and the other one says it's just wasted space. Let's turn it into a new room.
So right now, how many projects under construction? So right now.
Oh, at this point right now, we have about 3 going at the same time. And we have, I think, 15 projects that are in line, that the permits are getting ready. So we have a constant flow projects from San Diego to Northern California.
And which city you live in?
I live in Irvine.
Oh, okay. Irvine.
And our corporation is based in Orange. And then now we have a new office opening in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, with our representative there. And we have showrooms for materials all across the state. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's I think it is to my area maybe that's not but to the California that's I think is a good idea. Like you call it flip your own or add value to your own home. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's kind of like an investment. You invest a little money. Yeah, then there's a big value.
When inflation started going crazy, I thought things were going to slow down. this year's been a little crazy just because of what's happening in the world. But actually, people were telling me, no, Chris, I want to put my money in my house. And so that is, I guess that's the safest place these days. And putting a high ceiling up is relatively a fast way to gain equity in the house very quickly. There is an after improved value, and just depends on what the house is going for, what the comps are in that area. So yeah, it's been a smart thing to do. We have never really seen a decline in business. Even 2008, we were still growing because it was still relatively easy to get a small amount of money to put into the house. Our bigger room additions, like 200 square feet, I'm sorry, 2,000 square feet, those dried up pretty quick during 2008. But the small ones are very effective, very efficient.
Yeah, right now the people cannot afford so maybe more generation living in one room. They need more space, more bedroom.
Yeah, some people are bringing their family, their parents back to the home, and they find that the ADUs are very expensive. They could be 300,000 or more. And so, well, if you put a high ceiling in, it's less money. You get the room, but your in-laws are in the house. So you have to think about that too. But it is a very effective way to get a room fast.
Okay, so that's all my question.
Okay.
So, Chris, thank you. 好，橘子说房产，这是这一期我们的访谈啊。那 Chris 做的事情呢，他主要是在加州做，然后我觉得呢，他做的事情也非常适合在加州这种房价贵的地方。那我会把 Chris 的联系方式放在我的视频的下面，那个视频标题栏的下面。如果你有兴趣啊，你看看你们家的房顶够不够高，如果是16尺以上的，如果你有兴趣这样的业务，你欢迎跟 Chris 去联系。好，那我们这一期的节目就到这儿，好，谢谢你的观看，我们下期再见。